Hi everyone. So today we'll be talking about clause 8 of Information Security Management System. That's ISO 27001 version 2022. Again, I'm Mary, your trusted risk and compliance advisor. So what is clause 8 called? Clause 8 is called operations. This is where the plans are executed. Remember the last clause we said, this support would help us make plans to make sure that this plan does not fail. Now, how do we execute this plan? That is what clause 8 is about. With clause 8, you implement and operate the controls defined during risk planning. Remember the planning we did in clause 6. Now, this is where you implement and operate it. So what are the operational planning and control you need to consider here? First, in security processes, you need to make sure that they are planned, you need to make sure that they are implemented, and you need to make sure that they are controlled. This includes asset management, change management, incident handling, third-party controls. Hardcore security is not acceptable. Like, oh, let's do patch. No, it's not acceptable. We need to put the planning. We need to make sure that the planning are operational, right? Then incident security risk assessment. In this part now, we need to make sure that the risk assessments we would put in place, they are performed regularly and whenever a change occurs. You don't say that, oh, you will do your risk assessment every year, annually. No. You need to do it whenever there is any changes in any section, any department of the organization. New system, vendors, or threat trigger reassessment, just do the reassessment. Whichever situations triggers the assessment. And don't forget, we initially discussed risk treatment. When we talk about how you want to treat your risk, do you want to accept it? Do you want to transfer it? Do you want to mitigate it? What kind of approach do you want to use in your risk? Now, in this clause 8, what it's trying to look at now is that all of your approved risk treatment plans must be executed. Don't forget, on this clause, what we are dealing with is execution. The approved risk plans need to be executed. The controls, you need to make sure they're implemented. You need to make sure they are tracked. And you need to make sure they are maintained. Accepted risks too must also be formally approved. So you don't just say, oh, we've accepted the risk, or we are fine with it, or we are okay with the residual risks. No. It needs to be formally documented and approved. So why does clause 8 matters? Most organization fails at execution, not planning. With planning, it's very easy to plan. In fact, I can just sleep on my bed and say, oh, I will be in the US tomorrow. I would like to be in US in 6 months' time. You need to execute it. Submit visa and everything. So planning is the simplest thing to do, but you see execution, this is where most organizations fails. So with clause 8, it helps to ensure that security control are actually operational. It means that they're actually operating. You're not just putting it in your procedures or policies. I need to make sure that they're actually at work. What's your key takeaway for today? You need to, if you have to take away one thing, like, oh, what's the purpose, why clause 8? The question is, are we doing what we said we would do? We've decided that we want to do ISMS. We decided that we want it to succeed and not fail. We've planned. We've talked about support. We've talked about leadership. So now the question is, are we doing what we said we would do? That planning document we wrote in clause 6, are we actually executing it? That is what clause 8 is asking about. See you in the next section where we talk about